Welcome to Weekly Stock Tips. I'm your host, Bloodshed. What we do here is I share with you guys my stocks that I'm looking at for the upcoming week. This would be the week of like 8/25/2020. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes only. Do your own due diligence, have an exit strategy. Like if a stock drops below a certain number, make sure to have a plan to jump out if you're not comfortable with losing that money, or, take your profits if it jumps up to a certain level. Whatever works out for best for you and your family, you should definitely do that. What we do first is recap last week's picks. So 7 days ago, I made a video similar to this one, and we called out 3 stocks. I called out Barrick Gold Company. Back when Warren Buffett bought millions of shares of this company, I knew it would go up, and it did. And I bought some myself, and I jumped out up probably around, I think it was about 31 flat. So we called it out at $26.99, which is way down here on the chart. So if you bought in, it shot all the way up to $31.38. So you're happy campers with me if you bought in with gold. It was a safe play. And even now, it dropped to $29.41, $29.25. So even then, you still had a little bit of profit. But you can see like Warren Buffett, the increased volume down here, shot up the stock price. And yeah, we were able to sell it. I think it peaked even a few days later. Yeah, that was like on the 14th it happened, and then it peaked 4 days later. So it wasn't even like a day trade or anything. It was more like a swing trade. The second stock we called out was MSFT. That's Microsoft. Microsoft, I believe, was 208 when we called it out. Yeah, 208 flat. And you can see the jumps here. That was 7 days ago. It went way down here from about 208 flat when we called it out, and shot as high as it looks like 215. Now, I didn't buy any Microsoft, but had I done it, it was a safer play, like I said in the video. And a lot of times I'll say if it's a safer play, nothing's guaranteed in the market, but if it's a safer play, I'll make sure I say like, this is more like, lower volatility, basically. Microsoft's a low volatility company. It's going to be around seemingly forever, right? So it went from 208, shot up to 216. You would have made some good return on your investment had you bought some then. And even now it's settling at 213, even if you just held it, right? It's performing well above the 50-day simple moving average. I mean, it's just been crushing it, right? So it's doing really well. Now for the bad news. My pick of the week was Blink. It is a growth company, and I did say this is more of a risk. And yeah, it was a risk. So we called it out at $11, which I think that was up here at around 11 flat. I said I would buy it, and it's already all the way down to $7, which is why I said make sure you have exit strategy. I lost a lot of money on Blink myself. The company, I still believe, has potential long-term, but what happened was, if you're not following the news, they're getting sued. A lot of people are claiming that their machines are broken, not working. They're reporting less machines than they have, and all kinds of stuff. They're doing money laundering. This is like a Breaking Bad episode going on with Blink right now. I have 2 machines close to my house in San Diego, and I personally checked them before I even bought the company, and they're in perfect working condition. They look amazing, right? So I didn't check all the locations, but at least I can speak on the ones by my house. They showed crazy pictures with the machines having cobwebs and all kinds of stuff. So people freaked out and they sold. So this would actually be a good buying opportunity, but I cannot recommend it until we know for sure. I have a feeling that it's going to bounce back to the $10 range at some point. The first big pick we have this week is WKHS. That's Workhorse. They do electric vehicle stock. Again, it's a high growth company, high risk, high reward, because it's not like an established company. They don't have like a really good balance sheet, right? Like these companies were projecting how they do in the future. That's how you have to evaluate these companies, right? Like Tesla, like we're thinking about how they're going to perform in the future based on their business, their dealings, and as a brand, not necessarily as just they sell cars. Like they do all kinds of stuff, and they plan on doing more in the future. So anyway, I bought and sold Workhorse so many times already. I usually dips around here. You can see 515, then it'll shoot up to almost 16, then it'll drop to like 14. It's been gaining more traction over time. So there is a USPS contract on the line. They're one of 3 companies that could potentially get it. Even if they don't get it, there's a high chance that they get a portion of the contract, which would shoot their stock up. You know, I'm thinking like a 2 to 10x money on Workhorse. US Postal Service to award $6.3 billion contract for new mail trucks this year. So all the USPS mail trucks are on fire. You might have seen Twitter videos, like they're breaking down, they're old, they're busted, and they need new trucks. And this money has already been set aside by the government. So like this money is available, like they just have it and they're going to give it out to somebody. They want to give it out to an American company. The trucks must be built in the United States. So Workhorse is one of 3 companies left to get the contract. They make delivery vans and they have delivery drones. They even have like a drone van combo. They also recently on a conference call talked about refrigeration systems, you know, with everybody's delivering groceries these days is getting more and more popular. So they have a huge market. And for me, the type of investor that I am, I'm always going for the moon, right? Like I have big dreams, right? So these kind of things that have high growth, like it might take something like Johnson & Johnson or Apple, like a year, 2, 3, like when is Apple going to double? It might take a long time, right? Like to double your money in Apple or something like that. So something like Workhorse, it's worth the risk for me. Something like that can really be the future, and I can 2 to 10 times flip my money in a faster time frame than I could, you know, with another company. So I'm not a financial advisor, do your own research, but yeah, this is what I'm going to be buying in. I've already actually bought this so many times around the 1550 range. Like I said, I bought and sold it many times. I'm actually going to bring up my Ameritrade account and show you guys my trades here on Workhorse, just to let you know, like I'm legit. So I have my Ameritrade account up right here, but I'm trying to block all the other information. I can't give away all the juicy goodies already, but you can see like I have about 77,000 invested in Workhorse, and I'm up about $1,300 I'm just waiting for the big contract deal to go through. And you know, if they don't get any of the contract and I try to sell with everybody else, and let's say I'm down 5,000, it's worth for me, right? So that's a percentage as an investment for you. So like if I go down 10%, it's worth the crazy upside potential that we have with this company. Other spec plays that I have, you can see ZOM, KNOS, and OPTI. Those aren't doing so well, but I also didn't go too heavy in them, you know, in comparison to my Workhorse, right? So it was like actually $17, I believe, but I still didn't sell it this past week. I think it shot up to like 17, 12. So you can imagine how much profit I had passed on this week because I'm just biding my time. The contract should be like within a month or so. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that whatever I say I'm going to buy is literally what I'm looking to buy. Zynga is the next stock we're going to talk about here. If you don't know what Zynga is, they are like a video game company. They also have like the Zynga Poker, Donna Titans, Farmville, stuff like that. They're a very strong stock. Video game stocks have been crushing it during quarantine. More people are home. More people are looking for entertainment where they can be at home and all that stuff. And yeah, they've been doing well overall. Here's a quick thing that I found just on the 20th here, 3 days ago, right? Zynga just posted record quarterly revenues and bookings in quarter 2. Forever franchise games have been bolstered by the Peak acquisition, with Toon Blast and Toy Blast now under the portfolio. Another acquisition of Rollic will add nearly $65 million to Zynga's platform. Insane. So this is a very strong company, and Workhorse is the risky play, right? As a wild stallion, and Zynga would be, in my opinion, a air quote safer play. The lowest it's dipped is $8. I've bought and sold this from like the $9 to $10 mark so many times, but it has been on a downward trend, which makes a good buying opportunity. You can see how it's slowly trending to the downside, and it's stabilized here at the $9 mark. I would definitely buy it at the $9 mark. You can even wait for more of a pullback. You know, it's below that 50-day SMA, all that stuff. I would pick it up now, but if you want to wait for even more, the lowest it's dipped is about $8.98 in the last week or so. Well, since 7.27. So it's been a while since it's even been this low here. So you can see you're buying it near the bottom, and they've only reported strong earnings. It's a nice play in my book. So go for Zynga if you want that. You don't want to have to check it and babysit it every day. And you're like, a lot of you guys got kids and jobs, and you can't be babysitting this. Like I stream, all day long, and I have these stocks up on my other monitors, and I'm always watching them and trying to babysit them too while I'm live. Another air quotes safer stock, I would say, but not as safe as Zynga, would be Nordstrom. Nordstrom's an amazing company. I mean, it's been crazy volatile over this past period. What is this? This goes to 7.27. So yeah, over the past month or so, we thought we were going to reopen, right? So what happened? Boom. There was like vaccine hints, and there was a second stimulus hint, and this is where the price got all inflated. But you can see back here, it was around like 13-ish to like 14. So this is about where the stock should be, around that 14 to 14.50. It's a super buy around 14 to 14.50. I would definitely recommend it. And a lot of these I would jump out on profits, especially like if Nordstrom's pretty volatile. Like it'll shoot up here, right? And then it'll come back down, and then it'll shoot up again, and then have a little pullback. So, I mean, I would definitely jump out and then jump back in. But like, let's say there is talk of another stimulus, right? They haven't come to a conclusion. It doesn't look like we're going to get another one. But if we do, Nordstrom is probably one of the first things I would put money into, because it reacts really well. They're a strong company. They look to the future. The companies, I really like Nordstrom stock. And this is something I would jump into if we're going to reopen, right? Like you would maybe look at airlines. You'd maybe look at like the travel. The travel can actually make a lot of money, because not only do you buy the ticket, you have to pay for like, food while you're there, like the premium food. You might forget your outfit. You might need some more bathing suits, or you're spending a lot of money while you're on cruise. Cruise lines do really well too. So yeah, in a retail stock, everybody's open. They're going to be shopping more and be out. So I would look into Nordstrom for sure. And I would definitely pick it up this week if you believe in it. Again, do your own research and all that. I will have 3 more stock picks on my Patreon. If you want to support on Patreon, you get 3 extra picks per week. But these are my 3 absolute best picks. On Patreon, they're like, they would be picks 4, 5, and 6, right? Because I don't just follow 3 companies. So it just makes it simple and easy to digest when I focus on 3 of my best. But I'm crazy. I follow like 100 companies, and it's insane. So another thing I don't do is go into too much detail about each thing. Again, because I think it's easier to understand, easier to learn when I'm just like picking out bullet points and letting you guys know where my headspace is at. In the future, I might do there's some companies I really want to hone in on and discuss further with you guys. So I might, even though I only do like the weekly stock tips, I might do like a targeted video for one company. That way it's easy to understand, and we're just looking at that one company. Workhorse would be a good one, but there's tons of Workhorse videos online. I have a lot of ideas, so we'll see how these go, and then I might do that in the future, just where I'm thinking and where all that stuff. So anyway, if you have any questions, I'm probably live Monday through Friday. I stream video games all week over at twitch.tv/bloodshed. I have a website, bloodshed.com. I'm very accessible, twitter.com/bloodshed, all that stuff. Good luck in the market next week, investors. And wish me luck as well. I got to make up for some of this blink loss, man. What a week to start this channel on a blink stock video. Well, it was 1 out of 3, and we're moving on, right? This is the darkest before the dawn. So this is Bloodshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.